Family movies in 2021 just keep getting better. Hi everybody, it's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. Hello, I'm back again to talk about a movie that was a real pleasant surprise. Because again, movies and TV is what we do here, and we are talking about a movie you also may not have heard of. It's streaming as of today on Netflix. Is it worth checking out? Yeah. And that movie is called Nightbooks. Nightbooks is based on a novel. It is directed by J.A. White. It is directed by David Yarovsky. I probably butchered your name, sir. Whose previous film was not a children's movie, but I thought was honestly kind of underrated, a movie called Brightburn, which was actually written by James Gunn, where that was essentially Superman, if instead of saving the world, he wanted to burn it to the ground. It was basically a supervillain origin story. But now he's back for Nightbooks, and this film, what's it about? Who's involved? Other than Mr. Yarovsky? Well, sound like Daddy Derek in the 420 words. The Big Lewinsky instead of Big Lebowski. Okay. What is the film about? Well, the film is about a young boy named Alex, who is played by Winslow Fegley, who I have seen before. He's actually been in two pretty great coming-of-age movies from last year that were like honorable mentions on my best of list. Timmy, Failure, Mistakes Were Made, and Come Play. He's the lead here, Alex. And this film's also produced by Sam Raimi, so this is also the best movie that Sam Raimi was involved in this year. That's not saying much, but still. Basically, he's a young boy who loves horror. His bedroom is splattered with The Lost Boys, Nightmare on Elm Street, memorabilia, all sorts of stuff, Candyman. Something very sad happened to him. His parents are talking about how to take care of their odd son. He loves scary stories, and he's written all of them in these things called Nightbooks, which are basically these little journals where he doodles and journals his scary stories. One night he plans to go to the basement of his apartment complex's building and burn the Nightbooks, but wouldn't you know it, he is stopped on a very different floor, eats a piece of pumpkin pie that's placed out for him next to a TV screen showing The Lost Boys. He finds out that the pie was drugged, he wakes up, and is now in a totally different apartment, an enchanted apartment. He's been abducted by a cackling maniacal witch named Natasha, played with teeth gnashing glee by the always terrific Krysten Ritter, who also has another prisoner, a young girl by the name of Yasmin, played, or Yaz for short, played by Lydia Jewett, and who's a terrific newcomer. And basically, she lifts him up off the ground and says, "What use of you are to me, because if you're not, I'm going to kill you right where you stand." And he says, "I write scary stories." Intrigued, Natasha says, "Write a scary story every night. You're going to stay in my library, my big library. You must write me a new story in your Nightbooks every single night, and I'll let you live. But if the stories suck, you're dead." Can't help but agree. And he teams up with Yasmin, who has also been a prisoner there for 3 years. She's from D.C., he's from New York. They can't escape. So she basically tells him, this is your life now, stay alive, write good scary stories. And he does, which are often told in these horror-esque, grindhousey style films within the film. He tells stories all while he and his new pal Yasmin and a cunning cat by the name of Lenore attempt to escape the apartment. Who is this witch? Why is her apartment enchanted? And what's her fascination with a certain child-eating witch from Hansel and Gretel? All will be revealed. Look, I'm going to come right out with this, right here, right now. I loved Nightbooks. I loved this movie. I loved it as a 28-year-old nearly childless adult. The 10-year-old me would have loved this movie even more. This would be a movie that I am this kid. I really liked the Winslow Fegley character because I felt like him at my age. I love this kind of stuff. I love horror. I love fantasy. I love comic books. And this movie gets to the heart of what that's about. At the end of the day, it's a really wonderful story about what it feels like to be an outcast and what it feels like to overcome being bullied for it and losing friends over your interest and why you shouldn't be ashamed of what makes you special in your interest. all wrapped up in an honest to God pretty scary as shit movie, considering this is a PG movie. Honest to God, this is a movie with some balls. Like, it's not like blood and viscera, but it's kind of gruesome for a children's movie. There is like the threat of, again, it's the kind of kids movie you would see maybe in the 90s and 80s, but not as much now. It's where is legitimately, at a couple of points, no spoiler intended, the threat of these children becoming someone's, like, dinner. Like, it's that level of creepy. There are children who are in this apartment who are discussed in a way that implies that they didn't escape with their lives. It's a dark-ass movie. One of the best things about it was Krysten Ritter. She's having the time of her damn life as this witch, and she's awesome in this movie. She really is. She's like hilarious. Like and she gets some of the biggest laughs. Like there's a scene where they do the stories, and talks about, tries to like lead her on and go like, oh, I can't, I'm distracted or something. She goes, oh, writers always needing self-validation. Like, it's really funny. The two kids are great. Lydia Jarrett gave me a lot of shades in this. Her character Yasmin of a similar of the character of Abra Stone from Dr. Sleep. It's another good child performance in a horror film. And again, if there's one major flaw with Nightbooks is that in the middle it gets maybe a little 10 minutes too long. Maybe it gets a little repetitive of almost escaping the witch and not, and kind of doing that too much. But it leads to one doozy of a last act that really, really brings the movie home and sets up a potential franchise that, honest to God, I would like to see a part 2 to. I love this film. It's a visual feast. It looks like Tim Burton, or even like Bo Welch, someone who worked on like Men in Black or something, made all these things. There's this house where it's like, again, it's like a candy hut where it's like candy is dripping off of the wallpaper, and like this library with like 1,000 things going up. It's amazing. If you told me that Tim Burton worked on this movie, I would believe it. It's insanely well directed. It has heart, it has imagination. The characters are strong, and there's even some parts that surprised me. So, that's about all there is to say. Nightbooks is great. The only real problem I really have with it is that it came out now and not in October, so it gets spotlighted on 31 movies of Halloween this year. Can't do that, but I can totally give it a positive review, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I can't go all the way, pull the final trigger, but I can go pretty far. I'm going to give Nightbooks 4.5 out of 5 stars. Regardless of not being a perfect story, this is one of the best family films in a year that is full of good family films. They really stepped up their game. Like, really, like, it seems like children's movies and family movies, they seem to know the pandemic happened, and they're trying to make them fun for everyone. But don't get me wrong, little kids, don't watch this movie. It's too dark for you. But 9, 10-year-old kids, it's going to be your new Halloween favorite. It's going to be a cult favorite. I also just love that it feels like a Sam Raimi movie in a lot of ways. Anyway, that's all. Nightbooks gets a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Let's close the book on it. No pun intended. Trailer trash, none. Watch it on Netflix. It's streaming on Netflix. Was there shawarma? No, there was not. I mean, they do that scene where they fade out in the last scene, but it's not in the actual credits, so it's not shawarma. It's the end of the movie, so I guess that's not. Alright, so tomorrow we got Cop Shop. Friday we got Cry Macho. And maybe everybody's talking about Jamie. And yeah, we might finally get that Amber Ruffin video, because apparently season 1 ends Friday, and they got renewed for season 2. Fantastic. So, that'll all be next time, and until next time, I'm Grant the Movie and TV Guy. I see it all. I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I love you all, class dismissed. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Click the bell. I don't know what it does, but that's what you're supposed to do. And if you want to find me elsewhere, reviews, lists, and other fun stuff, you can find me on letterboxd.com at Grant the Movie and TV Guy. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you're having a wonderful time. And I'll see you guys real soon. Thank you all. Take care. Go watch Nightbooks. It's freaking awesome. It's on Netflix now. Go watch it. Bye-bye.